Now we're at school with Charlie, and she's making some weird little toy, and all of a sudden a bird flies right into the window, smacks into it, and dies. And everybody's running to it, and she's just staring at the teacher's desk, and then you realize she's staring at scissors, which she then uses to go outside, cut off the bird's head. So
pretty cool.
She's
Which is a recurring theme, everybody.
Yes. Lots of head loss.
I did used to, when I was a kid, I would collect dead crabs and put them in a bucket under my house. I don't know.
See,
I thought you were going to say under your
It's like a sea captain,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
ghost of a sea captain. Like,
technically-
mix a biscuit on
But
for the children.
You also went to the Jersey Shore all the time, so it was
Yeah.
kind of like the only thing
Well,
you
I
could
wasn't
find.
meeting any girls, so that's what I did instead.
No, you weren't. Definitely weren't with your bucket of rotting crabs. But no, I feel like that's normal. And I also think that, cutting the head off of a bird, on one side, you do obviously have the Jeffrey Dahmers of the world and people that do this. And then some of these people, though, turn into veterinarians. Because I don't know if you've met somebody. I love my veterinarians, and I think a lot of them are truly very, they love animals. But I think, like, with human surgeons, you also probably do kind of find a lot of them that have sort of a callous sort of attention. They are interested in the bodies of these things, but then they use that for science, and they don't feel these emotions because the emotions would actually make them bad at their jobs.
Of course.
I don't know.
You would not want a surgeon to operate on you and be afraid of blood or
I don't
anything.
need an empath surgeon. I want my
I don't
surgeon
either.
to be
Holistic.
rock solid. I want him to feel nothing.
Well, I talked to somebody who works in like the medical liabilities field, and she's like, well, it's interesting. She goes, because a lot of the doctors that get sued are actually great doctors, but their bedside manner is terrible. So people thought that they did wrong. She goes, but the nice doctors, those are the ones you got to watch. It's like that, what was the thing that was just on Peacock? Dr. Death. Was it Dr. Death or yeah?
Dr. Death.
Oh,
Yeah.
with,
Where that guy
what's
was
his name?
That whole story's great.
That guy,
Never be nice.
That guy.
Yo.
That guy is just proof that like not everyone should have a dream, man. Because like almost for every story that's like he bombed a bunch of times, but then he got good and he made it. There should also be Dr. Death where it's like, yeah, some jobs you shouldn't bomb a couple times. Some jobs you should be pretty good up top.
At some point, can we just cut all of the medical students that passed with a D? You know what I mean? Like the people that just make it past the lip in all of these places.
Like you got from a Caribbean, you got your med degree from the Caribbean. Like, come on, man. What's going on here?
But yeah, she's creepy, man.
She's very
This little
creepy.
girl's creepy. She's creepy. And no one's here for her. No one cares about it.
Has no friends.
Wow, I'm looking at pictures of Millie Shapiro now. She's like a Zoomer now.
Yes.
She's like a full TikToker now. She's got like
she
pink
is?
hair and stuff. Oh yeah,
she looks
try not to be
good.
creepy.
D-
Yeah,
I,
she's looking good.
I feel like they did a little bit of something to her to make her look creepier.
Extra creepy.
Exactly.
Yeah, they did.
Because she does have a bone disease, which
She
also.
does. But no, they added like a look to her. They
Yeah.
added like a prosthetic.
Yes, you could tell.
Which that's got to be. Can I just say before we get to her untimely demise in this movie, it is really unfortunate when someone is just hired because they have like a bone disease and they're like, you'd be great, like you'd be
Oh, it's
great.
great for casting.
It's
you want
great.
that.
My buddy Ben. Ben, he works for Ben Bladen. He started as a zombie actor. He has he worked for Your Pretty Face is Going to Hell. He had this degenerative bone disease that is causing him to sort of curve. He's got a thing he's dealing with. But he's like, man, because of The Walking Dead, he worked for The Walking Dead as a premier zombie because of his crazy look. He works all the time now.
Yeah.
And he's like, he's like, I embrace it. I take care of myself. I got all my shit, and now I'm just
I
creepy
take
guy.
care of
That's
myself.
what I do.
What does that mean? Like, I make sure it still looks shitty every day.
Literally,
I
like,
make sure I still look terrible.
He's made a huge living off of it. I was like, man, that's the fucking. It's kind of great in a way, Like that's all you just got to make it through years of hell.
Yeah,
And then you might just be an incredible character actor at the end of it.
might. But
Might.
yeah, I'll
so-
just take over.
Yeah.
She essentially later in the movie, he gets invited. What I love about this movie is the high school scenes are so normal. Everyone in high school is normal. The teachers are normal. The kids aren't mean to anybody. It's the only place that's normal in the whole
they're
fucking
actually
movie.
concerned,
Is
the
high
kids.
school, which is which you never see. Usually, like we're talking about Carrie at one point, and you know everybody's so fucking mean to her. And this is the opposite. Nobody's mean at all.
Technically, the high schoolers are all the nicest people in the movie.
They're so nice.
100%. They're all like, and it's like, it's all just like, oh, he's got pot. Let's all smoke pot. So he goes to this party, this barbecue.
No, you're messing. Hold on. This is why I'm doing the plot, because now you're moving too far ahead, kid. Okay, so Annie sees that her mom's
Time is
bedroom-
money, baby. Time is money.
Annie sees that her mom's bedroom door is open. And she's like, why is that open? Who was in there? She sees this weird triangle on the floor. He gets a call, Steve, while they're locking the door up. And he finds out that the grave has been desecrated. And so he's asking, like, well, what do you mean?
Yes.
Henry's the only guy I know when he dies, he's going to want someone to desecrate his grave.
I mean, it's the only way I know I was legit my whole life. It's the only way to know.
Just scoop up that fucking body.
Oh, God. Okay.
I mean, something's going to happen.
So, okay, fine. We can skip to the party now because she just goes to a bereavement group and you find out more about her relationship with her mom. And we get a glimpse
This
of
is the only
Dowd.
part of the movie where I was like, I get it, cheese. Well, honestly, because I grew up in my grandmother was our worst family member. Right?
Well, you also grew up with a family where someone, like, there was an emotional problem. They're just like, all right, here's Big Ziti. We're good.
Yes, very classic, European immigrant family where food was the only thing that was on point. Everything else was kind of rough. And my grandmother was like this, who was the villain of our family. My mom's arms went psychosomatically dead. She went through a thing with her in her teenage years where her arms just stopped working because of the stress level in the home.
Oh my
so
God.
I do
Shit.
like that's. I think it's a part of the reason why I identify with this movie so much in the beginning, because you watch it and you're like, I totally know what it's like to have evil grandma.
What's worse, getting your family destroyed by an evil or just being Irish? That was I feel by the end of it, I was like, I feel like I've seen this type of end just for a normal Irish family, and there's no ghost involved.
Sometimes it's nice to actually have the demons, because then it's an excuse that other people can get into.
Yeah, you can
know what
blame
I mean?
it on something. Yeah.
Not just frozen emotions.
We find little Charlie at her desk making the toy that she was working on. And now we see the bird. The head is on it. The bird's head that she cut off. She follows this weird orb that we see a couple times throughout the movie, follows it outside. We see a woman, the grandmother, in a field with fire around her. And then to the party.
To the party. He wants to go to this party
Now-
to impress this chick.
What I always find interesting about this party scene is that I have never once, especially in high school or college, went to a place where anybody served food.
Oh, nuts. I have. I ate an entire wheel of brie once at a party.
That's incredible.
Now you understand her attraction to me. You didn't before.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
now
I
eating
see.
an entire wheel of cheese in one sitting. That's a real future Mrs. Saint Germain.
And it wasn't even on display. I went in the kids' refrigerator and took it out, and his like nonna had made it and was for dinner. I ate it. I ate the whole thing. It was delicious.
I feel like I just didn't go to the right parties.
You have to grow up
We
on
just
Long
were-
Island. There's a lot of
Yeah.
food. It's a lot of Italians. It's a lot of Jewish people. And so we just would have parties together. And there was always some sort of a spread. Even if it wasn't put out for us, we'd still go in the fridge and eat.
That's
their food.
incredible. No, I partied in Florida, so it wasn't.
Tony
That
Collette,
way.
it was just fucking...
Meth on the.
yeah, it was just bath salts and scuba gear. But like, this Toni Collette, a.k.a. Annie, forces him to take the sister, which is like weird, but then later on you realize like, oh, she's like subconsciously trying to fulfill the prophecy too.
That's what's awesome about the movie is that now, upon repeat viewings, you know that they've been fucked since minute one.
Yeah, because there's no reason for her to go to this party at all.
No,
there
she's
really is not.
13. What is she in 8th grade?
Yeah,
Ninth?
she's like 13. She's
I guess
in
she's in 9th
Yeah.
grade.
She's clearly
Yeah.
not having a fun time there. Okay, so
I mean, she's creepy.
yeah, she's
I will
super
put it that way.
creepy.
She's fucking creepy. We're trying to get her out of the house.
Yeah.
I feel like that's also maybe because that's the thing. We now just got a second dog too, and
Yeah,
you
we
understand you
have
got to
3.
socialize the first.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that the first dog was so backwards socially until we got the second dog, and now we're trying to put them together. But that's the thing. It probably helps to get you maybe think, oh, get this creepy girl out of the house. Maybe she could go experience some fun in her life. She can kind of maybe, not be like this forever. Sick of the tiny dolls, sick of the beheaded birds. Like, there's got to be other
By the way,
hobbies she can pick up.
Can I just say, PSA to anyone, like, that never works out. Like, don't bring your creepy friend to a non-creepy place. Get them, like, to a half, like, take them out to Applebee's first. See how they can handle that. Don't take them to a full-blown party, because they're not ready for that yet. That's like trying to, like, letting your golden retriever out to the Serengeti or something.
Dude, this is such a true lesson from the comedy world, where you really got to think about who you mix, who you bring into your actual friend group from the comedian world. Because you never know. A lot of times these guys are just looking for a way out of their tenement house. That's why they're at the open mic. You didn't understand that their real world is like some like super shady world where a bunch of Russian dudes and everybody's just selling white powders and it's not drugs.